Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is WRO Mansell, aka Michael Ingleton, and you are back into my career mode. This is my first video in a while. I do apologise for the lack of videos on my channel, but work problems, plus I've got my new website on pro racing leagues, PRL, that has really got me down and busy. So this is, I did do a career mode with Force India, but it was an unsuccessful one. So you now join me in my second season in the career mode. I've done the first season with Williams and it was quite successful. I didn't win the Drivers' Championship, but I finished, I believe, in 6th place in the championship on 159 points, I think it was. But more importantly is I wanted to beat a successful rival and a successful team. So I chose Mark Webber. Now I chose two reasons why I chose this. One of which is because Mark Webber at the moment in 2013 going on to 2014 is not in F1 at the moment. He's sadly, in my opinion, had his last race in Brazil. He's gone on to Porsche Super Cup. That's because Sebastian Vettel, I really think, pushed him out. He wasn't enjoying that sport anymore. But anyway, so yeah. Plus also, in my first season, in my first career season in Williams, even though I was doing really successful, top 10 most of the time, and scoring points, I had a couple of wins as well. It wasn't until, well, basically my teammate was absolutely shocking. Pastor Maldonado was my teammate. He didn't score a single point, finished in 19th in the table, and I thrashed him in pretty much anything. He out-qualified me the one time, and that was in Belgium, I believe, where I qualified 14th and he qualified 12th. So yeah, I wanted a successful teammate, a consistent teammate, so I've chosen Red Bull basically to take on Sebastian Vettel himself, the big old German who has won so many titles with this team. Let's see how many titles I can win in this team. Now I'm just gonna show you the settings that I use. I use a long weekend, full qualifying 25%, TV pod, park firmware on, difficulty on custom, brake and assist off, ABS on, traction control full, corners only on the racing line, so like a braking line to be honest. Gearbox is manual suggested, pit assist off. Also run on Legend AI with no flashback, so if I make a mistake then that's down to me. So after the first race in Australia, because this is now Malaysia, I won the race. So we're looking at standings. I won the race from Lewis Hamilton about 8 or 9 seconds. Vettel was third, and it was Alonso, Hulkenberg did a very good 5th. Had a Massa, Rosberg, Grosjean, Perez and Di Resta. So that also meant that Red Bull lead the Constructors' Championship with 40 points. And there's the news. Canfield will be surprised this season. Red Bull boss Christian Horner discusses driver lineup. And new season, new challenge. So we're into Malaysia and let's go. So with this career season, I'll do the video of the qualifying session, and I'll do a video of the race session. So it'll be 2 videos per day, apart from, well, actually, yeah, I can do it tomorrow before I go off to work. But so there's Sebastian Vettel himself. As I said, this is my second season in the career mode. I'm in Red Bull because I beat Mark Webber in the last season only by 2 points. I had to beat him in Brazil, but I did it quite successfully. So in the race, qualified in pole position, 8 tenths ahead of the field, but the problem with that is I think they were sandbagging a bit because, or no, they were compromising because the fact that it's absolutely tipping it down in the race, and it was dry in part of the qualifying session. So So yeah, it's 19 degrees, 100% chance of rain, and there is my setup for it. It is basically a dry weather setup which I used. It's basically a dry weather setup that I used for the qualifying session. So yeah, so it's a little bit of a problem. But as we look on the grid, me and Hamilton on the front row, and there's Alonso third, Massa fourth, then Vettel, Rosberg, Perez and Button, the two McLarens, and it's Raikkonen, Hulkenberg, Grosjean, Ricciardo, De Resta, Gutierrez, Maldonado, Sutil, Bottas, Verne, Pique, Bianchi, Vandergaard, and Chilton at the back. Everybody's favourites, Max Chilton at the back. So this is 25%, so it's 14 laps. Start on the pole, on the wet tyres, and they want me to go cautious, which I'm going to put to normal. I feel uncautious, even though it gives you more time to go for rich mix at the end. I feel it makes the car very, very heavy, in fact too heavy, especially for the wet conditions. So, and again, they feel that my tyres can only go to lap 7, so I will do that. No Sebastian Vettel at the moment. He won podium each. He's got one more fastest lap than me, which is interesting, and I've out-qualified him 2-0. So yeah, Vettel starts 5th, and let's hope he can bring home some points. Let's hope that I can get home a second victory of the season, my second in a row. I'm pretty sure I could do it, even though it's the wet conditions, but we shall see as we head out onto the track. As I said, it'll be a career race per day, plus I will keep on doing with my Brighton career modes on FIFA 14. So there I am, first place, lovely helmet. Lewis Hamilton starts second, and there's Sebastian Vettel starting in 5th place. To get this ready, always go on the screen where you can allow to see your tyres. We'll get on the 5 lights in Malaysia, and we are away. And I've noticed at the start I get absolutely swamped because Hamilton has already gone past me, and I daren't look back actually because you see 4 people. Hamilton really braking quite early, so I dive up the inside. I've taken the lead, which is good. Back end squirming a bit. Of course, I'm going to have problems with this. With the oh, it's gone a little bit wide. I think Vettel's dropped back a bit into the fast sweeping S's. It's going to take too long. Hamilton keeping up with me. I'm all over the place. This dry setup is not really working, and Hamilton's all over me. Oh, the braking is not working at all. Hamilton, as I said, all over the back of me. You've got Alonso not that far behind either. Definitely should have compromised the fact that it was going to be wet in the race and should have put on a wet setup. I was 8/10 quicker though in qualifying. Sliding it round. So into lap 1. So now I'm going to go into the race director just to see where Vettel's gone. He's still in 5th place. Button's moved his way up into 4th place from 8th. On the grid, and you've got Raikkonen 6th, then Perez, Hulkenberg, De Resta is up in 9th place. Massa, who started 4th, is down to 10th place. Bottas is up to 13th. Maldonado right behind him. Who else has gone down? I'm sure there's one more person. Yeah, Ricciardo from 12th has gone down to 20th, and Chilton has got past Vandergaard. That's a good start for the Marussia. also going to go back into this view. A bit better, and still, Hamilton is surely going to get past me. No. He's going to try and do the cutback, and he's there. Trying to go on the outside. See, the pack is right behind me. Can't really do anything but go as fast as I could possibly can, but not be too aggressive as it is the wet conditions and slipping and sliding all over the place. I'm having a problem with traction. Although the tyres look okay at the moment. Should be going to lap 7 about halfway through, then getting on a fresh set of wet tyres like everybody else is going to do. Do like this track. Malaysia is my favourite. It's one of those tracks I can really keep up the front runners in my league races that I do. Although lately I haven't really having that much success. 9/10 of a second between me and Hamilton. Expect Vettel to try and go past, and someone's been hit off. I just noticed on the track map that somebody is way back, and that's Ricardo. Oh, he's already pitted. Ricardo's already pitted and gone on to a fresh set. I mean, it might have broken his front wing. Button is still ahead of Vettel. Oh, again, that was a tricky right-hand corner. I've gone wide on the exit. I have to use most of my curves to keep Hamilton at bay, but he's still going to get the straight line speed, and he's going to have a look on the inside. Didn't want to have a go, which is weird because I've got it on Legend AI and they're not really that aggressive. You would think that they are. As I set my lap time on a 48.304, which is not really that good. On to lap 3 though. Alonso sets the fastest lap for 47.6. He's right behind Hamilton, and Hamilton's right behind me. We saw Hamilton, the back wheels spinning up. He can't get any traction. Alonso is all over him. Trying to concentrate on my own race by looking at everybody else. Alonso, no, couldn't make it stick. Into this tight hairpin. Still slipping and sliding all around. I feel that these tyres could go to lap 7. It's the one thing about this game. The tyre life in this game is very, very extreme in my opinion. Although it makes it more exciting, makes it more challenging. And you don't want a game that's too easy. Go onto this back straight onto the final corner. Definitely should have gone to a wet start. And Hamilton, he's going to have a go. Yeah, and this should really be, but he doesn't have the straight line speed. That's the one benefit I have, but he's still sticking around the inside. Is he going to try and get the cut back on me? Still on the outside. Alonso is trying to find any move as well. Back end spinning out. This is big pressure by the Mercedes driver. Feel a bit unlucky in this 2013 season that's just gone by. Although I feel that his move against Bottas in Brazil was very debatable. Didn't really give Bottas that enough room, me being a passionate Williams supporter. But he did get that one win in Hungary, which, you know, it was somebody else other than Vettel, so still the setup is not really giving me that much Not much good. And I think Vettel may have passed Button. Yes, he has. Vettel's into 4th. So that's good. Vettel into 4th place. The one thing I want this season is the Constructors' Championship, which has eluded me with every season that I've done, because the teammate that I have been in, i.e. Williams or Force India or anything else like that, they have not been successful as I have, or don't feel that they have anyway. Still my fastest lap was 48.3, but I've done a 48.7 from both the laps previously, so need some doing consistent, and I need to go 2 more laps on these tyres to work the strategy, work out, and it's still going wide at the apex, and Hamilton could have had a look on the inside there. He's going to have a run on me maybe into this next corner. No, it's got the take the basic defensive line, which is basically stay in the middle, make them choose to go on the inside or the outside, but then they take too long and they don't make the manoeuvre. This is good so far. I'm just hoping that when I go into the pits I don't lose too much time. It's just inside of nowhere.
The car behind is a second down on you. 1 second.
Of course DRS is not a factor in the wet conditions, which might be a little bit good. As that's the one thing about that corner there. That's the one thing about that corner there. It's very, very tricky to go wide. Once you do, like what you said, like what we saw in 2012 when Sergio Perez and Sauber was chasing down Alonso. I was cheering him on, really, for that win, but he went wide in that corner.
We think the car behind is running on 4 revs. He's trying to close the gap.
Right, so Hamilton is desperate, obviously, to try and find a way by. As I accidentally put it in neutral, that's going to go very, very wide. And Hamilton, yet again, the AI doesn't really seem to be less aggressive. Maybe it's just me, but maybe it's just the wet conditions. Maybe I'm just a little bit better in the wet conditions. I don't know, but I really think that Hamilton being all over the back of me as he is, should have really found a way, and his tyres are going, because he's slipping and sliding all over the place. I really want Vettel to get up into second place. Tyres a little bit worn on the right hand side. Once you actually even feel them going, because it's kind of tricky turning into the corners. It was tricky anyway, but turning into these corners, but now it's even more tricky because the tyres.
The car behind is only a second down on you. 1 second.
The engineer keeps on telling me that. Oh, and the back wheels have hit the curbs. And Hamilton's going to find his way through. And he hit me. Hamilton hit. I don't know whether that was my fault or his, but he touched the inside wheel because it's where. Oh, maybe I am being a little bit too aggressive in these manoeuvres, but Hamilton hit me. I went wide. He was up on the inside, and his wheel touched the back of mine. And then he's sort of like slid round. I don't know where he's gone to. He's gone down to 6th place behind the 2 McLarens. 2 McLarens are 4th and 5th at the moment. Which isn't bad for them. As we go into this lap now, I don't think anybody retired. Oh no, has. De Resta. Didn't notice that. De Resta has retired from the race. So that's bad for the Force India team. We've still got Sutil running, but he's down in 15th place. Which shouldn't really have paused it there because the braking zone was right after I paused it. My tyres are absolutely shot. I really should have pitted this lap. I hope Vettel isn't planning to pit on this lap because I really hope that Vettel is not planning to pit on this lap because, yeah, it is so difficult to think when it could be stacking up, but I just need to keep holding these tyres and into the apex. Normally meant to hit those two apexes. Car twitching. We're effectively halfway, and I think most of the you see the two McLarens, they're keeping up with us off. Those tyres. It's like driving on ice. With worn wet tyres. Oof. Oh, again go wide in this corner and Alonso's going to be through. Now I have Vettel right behind me. Even in 4th and 5th gear. I'm getting wheel spin as Vettel is now going to go off the inside. No, he doesn't. I'm going to have to pit. Is he pitting as well? No, he didn't, which is good. But Alonso has made the jump past me. Come on, wet tyres, do not get held up. We've got the two McLarens right behind me. Come on, pit crew, do not be held up. Oh, it's the 4 seconds. It was a Lotus and a Sauber that had gone by, and I think Alonso, yeah, Alonso is in front, and Button is even nearer to me as I come out.
Traffic at the pit exit. Watch out as you rejoin the track.
So we rejoin. So Alonso is now ahead of me.
You have no more scheduled pit stops, so look after
Button's a little bit nearer, but now I'm on fresh wet tyres. Now put my foot down. Still got a little bit of extra fuel that I could put into Rich if I wanted to. Not really advisable though in the wet conditions, because you get even more wheel spin than you normally do. I'm going to take this time to talk about the racing league that I'm on, that I'm doing at the moment. It has its own website. I have mentioned this before in one of my previous videos. It's called PRL, which is Pro Racing League. There will be a link in the description as Grosjean and Alonso almost come together. There'll be a link in the description on the
his times will be slightly slower than normal.
On the website, which you can check out. I suggest you constantly check that out because there'll be news and updates on whether there's any spaces as Grosjean. So I hit the bollard and sent Grosjean a little bit wide, maybe a little bit aggressive, but he was holding me up. So yeah, keep up to date on that website. Go and check it out. It's proracingleagues.moonfruit.com. Massive help from PRL Jackster. You can also check out his channel, and there'll be a link in the description as well, of JENKOJAXTER. I owe him so much with that website. It's a brilliant website. Yes, I do have to update it every now and again with the points and so on and so forth. But if it weren't for him, that website would not be there. So I congratulate to him on the showing me how to do that. Yeah, as I was saying, the leagues on at the moment are Wednesday, Thursday and Sunday. The Sunday one is unique because we're running the cars on the 2013 performance, in which the slowest people via time trial, basically who I've raced with before, go into the faster cars like the Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari, and then the faster people like myself and TFX Monster will be going in cars like the Williams, or the Williams being the slowest car that we use on the field. So yeah, that's running every Sunday at 8 o'clock. There's a few spaces in that.
We can't afford to lose too much time stuck behind the car ahead. You're faster than him in sector 2.
So yeah, I should be doing some recording for that, from my point of view, as long as this video manages to record properly, which at the moment it is. The problem I was having at the moment, I was having before, as I said, a 147.2, but that is on fresh tyres. Then Alonso is pulling away. Button has actually made the jump ahead of Sebastian Vettel. And in fact, Vettel has now made it past Button on the first corner. In fact, behind Vettel, I don't know if you can see, but there's like a train of 5-6 cars there. Got the itchy nose. So we have a look on the order at the moment, and Perez and Hamilton. Well, so Button was third, so he got passed by Vettel, Perez and Hamilton in the first corner there, so he's gone down to 6th. You got Raikkonen in 7th, then Rosberg, Massa, Hulkenberg's made it up to the points. Anybody else retired? No, the rest was the only one retired. Ricciardo's made 2 stops, he's in 19th at the moment.
Next car is 4 seconds ahead. 4 seconds.
I don't think I can keep up with Alonso. Alonso is gone 4 seconds up the road, but I think my objective now with 4 laps to go is to keep ahead of my teammate and let Alonso win this one. It's a shame though, unless Alonso has a mistake or I can suddenly find some grip. It's 3.8, well it's gone down a little bit. It's middle sector, maybe it's a little bit, it was like that bollard. Why did they put the bollard there? Well actually I know why they put that bollard there. Because of, this is a good marker for, it was a good hit. For example, you're meant to hit that, you're meant to hit the apex, which I didn't, and went catastrophically well, which I'd done like 3 or 4 laps previously.
Our data's showing that the car ahead is likely to be running in fuel conservation mode. His times will be slightly slower than normal.
I'll do a 47.7 up. Perez is running well up there in 4th. It's good for the McLaren team. Something else that I've noticed, I don't know whether you can leave a comment in this video, in the comment section, but in previous games, for example 2012 being the obvious example, if you did the R&D, I've just realised that Vettel's now really catching me up. Yeah, if you do the R&D of your first team in your career, or if you can bother to do that, because some people don't, but I do, in 2012 I would take the Williams in my first season, and if I was, you know, committed enough, would stay in the Williams for 3 seasons, do all the R&D objectives. But from season to season, from your first season to the second and so on and so forth, I realised that if you did the R&D on the car, the next year they'd be a little bit more competitive. Say like, for example, if for example you were struggling to go into Q2 in Australia and Malaysia in the first few races, if you did all the R&D objectives and they worked and they got onto the car and you were still doing it consistently, then in the next year they would qualify into Q2 quite easily and maybe into Q3 and so on and so forth. But with this game, now I did all the R&D objectives in the Williams, and as you can see, they are down in the 13th or 14th places. Now, yes, when I did the R&D objectives, by the end of the year, because I'd pretty much done all of them, and they were like reduce engine wear, reduce tyre life, or increase tyre life, I meant, reduce tyre life. Yeah, I'd done all of them, and by the end of the year, my car was really, really good. It felt really good. In Austin, I was keeping up with Alonso and Ferrari. I ended up finishing 4th place, and didn't do that in China and such like. So, and then I thought, going into this season, Williams will be up there. And also there's been a couple of times where in 2012 you can take an HRT. And you know, if you were really, really good, take the HRT in the top 10. And then, I don't know, the Red Bull would be replaced and then put down into like 16th, 17th. But in this game, I don't know why the reason this is, could be to something to do with licensing or whatever. But it's pretty much the same, only you're in a Red Bull instead of a Williams. So, I don't know whether you've noticed that, so put in the comment section on, yeah, put in the comment section of what you think about that, whether you've realised this has happened, and you're a little bit miffed, the same as I am. But anyway, 2 laps to go. As I said, I don't think I can catch Alonso. Don't have enough confidence, but Vettel is catching me. My tyres aren't going to wear out because of being the Red Bull. Vast improvement from the Williams, because any tyre strategy that I did, itchy nose all the time. Any race strategy I did, the tyres would go off dramatically, and I mean dramatically. 2 laps before the end, they'll be absolutely worn, and I would have to pit for options. Just try and stick into the top 10. So the Red Bull tyre life is a lot better. That's why, another reason why I took this car to be my next season. Would I stay in a Red Bull for the rest of my career for 4 seasons? Probably not. I mean, my dream car to be in would be actually Ferrari, partner with Fernando Alonso. So I definitely hope I can get a title, at least 1, maybe 2, if a Ferrari offer does not come my way. With Red Bull, maybe I'll stick here for 2 seasons. But we'll see. We'll see when it comes like halfway throughout the season. I may get an offer by Mercedes and may then take that.
You're currently matching race pace.
Because Red Bull is a good car. Sebastian Vettel, even though I don't like him personally, is a very, you know, decent teammate to have. I do expect to win constructors with this. But at the same time, you know, it's just Red Bull. I mean, only Germans and, you know, Austrians and anybody that has followed Red Bull since the beginning, when they were, you know, in 2005, 2004, they were terrible. Well, they weren't terrible, they were just doing ordinary, like what Toro Rosso is doing right now, scoring points, you know, they're Coulthard and Clean. Remember those days? Remember when Red Bull wasn't dominating, instead it was Ferrari or McLaren or Renault? Where's Renault? That's what I'd like to know. Where is Renault after all those years? I know it's like 8 years ago. But yeah, I don't know whether Renault's gone into a different team. I think Red Bull used to be Midland F1 or something like that, or maybe they were Arrows, I don't know. They used to be a small minnow team, and then they got bought by someone Austrian, and then turned into Red Bull cars. Right, so 1 and a bit laps to go, and this is the situation I've got. The tyres are worn, and I've got Vettel right behind me. Alonso's gone off the distances, he's going to win the race. Getting a little bit of light there. As you can see, the traction is not helping, and I believe I don't think I can hold off Sebastian Vettel for the rest of this lap. Of course, you've got Hamilton 1.6 further back. Another podium would be brilliant, but Vettel would actually go past me, and Vettel's going to have a go, and my back end squirming. He's doing the same thing as he did to Mark Webber, but he's got it. And the traction is just not helping. I'm going to have to put it down into lean. When you put it down into lean, then it doesn't spin up the wheels that much. But Vettel's gone through, and he's slipping and sliding all over the place. Now I think I can just, if I could just hold off to Hamilton, I'll be okay, because Hamilton finished second behind. Yeah, Hamilton finished second behind me in Australia, so if I could just hold on to him, it'll be okay.